10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. EG's turn to ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Shadow Demon.
OG's turn to pick.
Hello and gentlemen, welcome back to EG versus OG. Hopefully you enjoyed that peaceful, calming music break. I'm a Pixel, I'm joined by Driscoll, and the at the moment as it stands, it's 1-1. OG versus game 1 off EG. EG a little bit quicker, like in fact in game 2 managed to get a game in return. Here we are now, game 3. They're banning out the Huskar. OG don't want to deal with that again. IO and SD picked up. Are we going to see any different this time, Andy?
Well, we see a little bit of deviation here, at least as they're going to go with the SD Jug, of all things. Not necessarily a super common pairing, but I think the flexibility of the Juggernaut is what made him pick here, instead of saying like the traditional Luna or the Drow. Obviously this one's banned. But, I think it's a little bit of a change of pace because they've been playing against Omni Knight pretty much every single game, and they didn't feel like the Oracle was made as big of a solution as they wanted it to be during that particular game. Because Oracle against Huskar is not really that good, because you don't really have any way of like bursting a hero, whereas normally Fortunes and Purifying Flames are great tools to be able to get kills, like I showcased in the first game. So it actually proved to be a little bit weaker even I thought it would be, and I didn't really feel like Fly was able to influence the game that he wanted to. So maybe this round he's just, yeah, I want to play Shadow Demon instead. Screw that hero, I'm over Oracle.
Well, let's
Or
have
I
a look.
guess Fly and Shadow play Steve, so I guess it depends on what this can be before
Yeah, they
numbers
can.
play.
Yeah, they definitely can switch around. I find this kind of so both the team supports. They've got the teams that they feel it works best for the draft. They can switch around their responsibilities. But each keeping it sort the first two, a little bit of a different order, picking the axe up a little bit earlier. But indeed, axe once again is going to be the play. I mean, the question is, you see the axe. We obviously saw in last game how well kind of axe Ursa worked in terms of jumping and killing someone. Do you ban out an Ursa if you're OG? Are you scared of the Arteezy Fuzzy Wuzzy?
I think Shadow Demon is amazing against Ursa. You can merge him, you can disrupt. Yeah, it's strong. I think OG I'm worried about maybe Omni still, because OG just seemed to pick the hero. Like
everything.
They literally pick it, Io and Omni together. And I think that the Axe Omni is maybe even more scary than the Ursa Axe, because the Omni pretty much gives you an insane amount of burst, and it also keeps the Axe alive at the same time. So with Naga ban, it leads me to believe that they will probably be leading towards Omni again if it's available.
Yeah.
Because I feel
but
like that
OG might ban it here.
Yeah, they might ban it. It depends.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Jug can build a diffusal, so...
Yeah, you would have Diffusal Blade and you would have Shadow Demon together. But the thing about Omni that you can't really stop is the idea of Blink Initiation plus Purification. And that's what makes it super scary. Because if you make a Diffusal and you get Blink called by an act, you have no survivability items and your Disruption's not there, you're just dead. you just explode. So it depends on if OG want to deal with it or not.
Let's see what they are most scared of. OG here. Taking their time as well. It's a big game, you know, being knocked down in game 2. They need to try and pull themselves back together. Down EG here in this game 3. Let's have a look. Is it going to be removing the Omni? Or are they more worried just about RTZ and Samael's hero trying to shut that down? Obviously, we can see already pretty much 3 straight up Samael banned. It's going to be a forfeit. They are banning Samael. I mean, do you feel that's the way to go playing against EG? Is it right to be that scared of Samael on these heroes?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously very talented, but I think it's also more worrying about, like, by banning the partner heroes with Omni, you're also kind of making Omni weaker at the same time. The Storm Omni is a patented combo, so is the PA Omni. Those heroes are probably the 2 best in terms of cores to put with it, but yeah. I think it's a really good idea still. And Sumail obviously is one of the best Storm players in the world, just bar none. I think it's been banned every single game against EG so far. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, I think that OG's opening this time is a bit more flexible. They don't have to necessarily worry about like this mid-game timing anymore because they took away the Huskar. They've tailored their bans in a way that allows them to actually play Dota. Where in the last game, I feel like they're more playing EG's Dota instead of playing their own, which can always be a problem because you're not quite hitting your item timings right. You're trying to overreact to stuff that EG are doing instead of worrying about your own game plan. And we saw how Anna couldn't finish 2 items before the game was over, and it lasted like 28 minutes.
Ooh. Ricky from OG.
This is an amazing hero against Io. Like, it's so frustrating playing against a Ricky as Io.
Okay, and I mean, with that pickup, is it expect to be Fly, Shadow Demon, and then Jarrett, Ricky?
I would assume so, yeah.
Ooh, okay. Well, EG, let's see what they do about this. And they've got a Ricky in the mix now. How do they want to deal with this pick from OG? Are they going to continue down the same line as we did indeed in the previous series? Omni is still there.
I guess Omni's wait.
Omni's kind of good against Ricky. Is it in the sense that, you know, whoever Ricky goes on and with the cloud, as long as it's not you can...
that's the thing. Yeah. As long as it's not you.
Yes. Yeah.
If it's you, you kind of just flop over and you're like, all right, well, it can be a little bit annoying. But I just feel like EG's gonna wait a really long time and then just pick on me anyway. I just feel like that's because that's what they did in the first game. They took the whole time and then they just pick on me. This is a much harder Omni game than the just based them actually being able to kill the Omni, which sometimes can be a problem.
Let's see. They are certainly going deep into their reserve time bank. EG. Is it going to be Omni or will they switch it up? Something different. And it's going to be something different. Taking the Earth Spirit for themselves this time. So I imagine that will Zai's responsibilities be on your crit play the Earth Spirit? Or
I think
Spirit?
I think
switch around?
I think it's crits or spirits probably better.
Yeah. And I play the IO, you know, absolutely. So
5 seconds
it's not a lot
more natural though. Yeah.
But this is interesting.
Oh, the Magnus Jug combination from Mages. You know, this is something that we've seen a lot of people in the past, and of course with Ray as well. There's potential.
Really nice.
This is a fun lineup from OG. This is, I mean, it's a fun lineup for EG as well. This is going to be a fun game 3. You know, both teams kind of deviating away from what we've started to expect in this kind of post-TI phase.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the Jug Mag, but don't forget about the Mag Ricky, because trick to trade with Empower, like 1 or 2 items, that's a serious...
And I think to talk about as well is, here it's, when you don't expect Anna Knight, this is probably going to be off Magnus, isn't it? For S4.
What I was kind of wondering too, are they actually going to put him on a hero like that? Because now it seems like with the pickup of Timbersaw that they were kind of assuming that it was going to be a mid, because that's Sume's hero, right?
Take it off.
Because Timbersaw against any of the heroes right now of OG, maybe barring the Jug, they could be assuming that Jug mid, so that Jug versus Tim matchup, and then Meg off. roaming Ricky and then Shadow Den +1 bottom. But I feel like it's a little bit greedy, especially considering what EG are running right now, because they can definitely take the fight to you in the early, especially once, you know, I6 or Spirit hit 6.
Oh yeah, totally.
They're going to be running at them more or less. So I'm just as curious as you. I wonder how they're gonna run this out.
I'm certain for some Hassel Magnus is going to be quite respectful. I mean, Slut on a ban from OG, so obviously EG still looking towards RT's hero. Stark, obviously, the heroes that can kind of play around a juggle, you know. Also, I mean, RP, that's constantly not necessarily been an issue if you don't get perfect the Magnus of that Dark Pact. And a little bit of a slippy bug for SD to deal with as well.
Expensive for EG.
Yeah.
Spen's a naturally good matchup against Jug. He's super tanky. They're gonna go ahead and ban out the AM. Oh, they're gonna go more. Okay. That's good too. For reasons, really. Just really tanky. The Jug can kill you. You just wanted a core that would be able to deal with things like Slash, be able to split push. Morphling might do split pushing job a tiny better than Spen's survivability from ganks is probably on another level. But I like AM ban especially. Their heroes during the mid lane would just simply not have enough to kill. You would have to rely on like a perfect blink and everything else on top of that. So here we go. It's gonna be offlane mag.
No tail on the Jug and D4 taking that Magnus to the offlane and over on the side of EG. Yes, a male on the tail, and of course as we expect RTZ Morphling Universax. Crit will indeed be not playing the eye this game. Let Zai do that. Crit will sit on the Earth. So game 3. I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, you have that Morphling. We saw in game 2 Morphling workout. Obviously, that was for OG. Are EG in a much better place to bring Morphling pick to the forefront and out this game against OG's lineup?
I think that it's very dangerous going late game against OG no matter what. Like, their heroes just have this scaling where Empower plus Tricks of the Trade, Empower plus are gonna generate. There's always going to be the chance to where you just get out of position for too long and S4 hits you with RP and just instantly lose the fight. That's the one thing about like Magnus melee core lineups that I always look to and say, it doesn't matter what stage in the game it is, it's just going to happen at one point and you're going to get crushed. So that being said, I think that EG have a good draft, and I definitely think that they have heroes to win, but they need to be pressuring a lot. Feels very similar to how game number 1 was for them. Just making sure that they're doing the right things at the right time, getting map control, preventing this power juggernaut from farming away. And if they can do that, yeah, they have a shot.
Absolutely, a lot of eyes on S4 this game. I'm sure a lot of people at home will be looking forward to seeing him play the Magnus for OG, and especially a lineup like this. There's just so many ways that they can work around and follow through on top of a good RP. Potentially devastating for EG, but at the same time, you know, EG can pull it out. They've got that Morphling on RTZ. And again, Universe, we've seen him perform an absolute top class already this series on the Axe. And we just need him to do it again for the side of EG if he is able to pull through the side here. And a little bit of a change because Zai on the IO, Crit and the Earth Spirit. So game 3 between these two monsters of a teams, it really is going to be quite something. And a game as well that I feel that this is less likely than game 1 and 2 to start being incredibly kind of, you know, full off one side. You know, both teams have lineup to bring themselves back in off the back of a good fight, haven't they?
Yeah, I would say so. I think a lot of EG's lineup is going to depend on, well, obviously not dying. That would be a good start. Right? Getting kind of low there. Unfortunately, level 1 spin there for no tip. But yeah, I do think that both teams have that kind of comeback potential and the wombo combo kind of stuff. Like Blink Call into Timbersaw damage and whatnot with the Earth Spirit can be devastating. Same thing for the RP and the Juggernaut Omni. But I'm kind of thinking, like, if it goes ultra late, I just can't really see EG being able to find the proper fights when you always have to worry about Empower.
Crit, mate, getting a little greedy here. He came back out on low health to get that ward down. The block from Jerax, and Crit's gone. That's first blood for the roaming Ricky. A nice bit of gold in there, straight up for the roaming support. Great save for Jerax to start the game. And I mean, the ward's down, but OG will know about it. And Crit, yeah, just going for a bit of a greedy play there.
I think that when you're a support like that and you lose all your health in the beginning gang and you don't have a salve, you typically just want to go back to base, but I think more than anything else, he just wanted to try to get ward salve, but unfortunately trying to get that ward placement beforehand just ended up being killed. On the bright side, he will find the obs ward here from OG, so easy peasy. But yeah, the way that EG are playing this early game is actually more on the EV side, and I'm surprised that, you know, you start struggle, he knows if he's playing against a roaming Ricky. Was he kill him when he came to the bottom, so probably assume he had, you know, a little bit of time. Not necessarily the way that he would give the picks.
I mean, at the same time, could there be some kind of mentality in going into the jungle so Jax is tempted to come and slow you down and then lanes a little bit safer for your teammates and just kind of keep your position on the axe, or is that just not the way you want to be playing?
Oh, I mean, that's definitely a valid point, and making the Riki you. And
Yeah.
the other part of it is that you're not really going to be able to harass the axe as much as you are just soaking his EXP. Because if you walk in and it's a couple of lucky helixes, you're losing way more health than he will. So it's a bit tricky. Sometimes when you have a jungler, you know, he's commonly seen as that hero who just sits on top of you and prevents your lane from getting out of control. And I think that's the way they want to play it, but circumstances, he made his way back to bottom and then straight back to the jungle. And he's just too far away.
And it's kind of really nice to see against Jerax, because Jerax did come up jungle, was waiting around to see if Universe TP back in. You know, as you said, Universe kind of just playing one step ahead of Jerax, keeping himself away from the key. I'm talking about the break. Look, it was Arteezy. From the silence, looks around, give a few punches back to Jerax. There's a roll across from crit. That's the dust. They'll look now to chase down Jerax on the wreck. He's going to try for the TP and won't make it. As easier to bring him down, Arteezy gets the final touch for him, so money in the pocket of Morphling.
That's so close.
Mid lane, Flower, looks for a go on to Mail. He's yet to skill the chain. He has to be in that aura. Force to the poison, and that's going to be a hell of a punch.
He's super
Make
dead.
that vibe. I cleans him up. So, I cap on top, but again, OG to move in. No, EG have put a lot of resources towards being that guy on the top lane.
Can we just talk about how Shadow Demon is like ridiculous and how Shadow doesn't not do 6 at 3 minutes into the game? I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like that's a little bit ridiculous that he can do that. Although I suppose you could argue that it does take a very long time to be able to get 5 stacks.
A hero.
It's a good one. You know, Universe still having his little bit of a quiet early game. He's farm so he's already level 5. And you know, the fact that he gets his Blink Dagger more impactful in the game. And if he plays anything like he did in 2, I'm expecting some pretty things out of him.
Oh, did not crit. Was a bit of rune there, but Jax. And he is around. It's a few punches of crit, backing him off. Yeah, as you said, you know, Universe on the side of EG, he's getting so. I think that we haven't talked about too much really. S4 up in the top lane. Looking at, he's getting the levels. Of course, not getting nearly as much as because S4 has just been staying in. But he's not been killed. You know, he haven't really got the tools between the takedown unless S4's massively out of position. Or unless if crit saves come up a good few spells, but at the moment S4 just feeling confident enough to interrupt with the pulls, get himself stuck in, and find as much as he can from this opening.
I mean, the other thing too is, never got him. You just have to be, you know, if you're support, I need to be constantly checking and seeing if he has enough for skewer and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I think that one roll without skewer mill would probably kill this. He just the more flooding so we can get a range away for him, and he's nice. But you know, mid lane 2, the matchup, it's pretty freaking even. I would have expected actually that.
Oh, they got him.
See you later.
Yeah, they chased him down. Actually, didn't use the skewer there. That was an initiation crit. And looked
He
like
might
was
have assumed that they would have lost vision.
Yeah, maybe it was about kind of clearing the tree line. Yeah. I mean, it was very. Yeah, actually, the last touch did it. They didn't have that last hit. S4 could have survived for it.
Bottom lane.
Bottom lane. Yeah, go in straight away on crit. He hangs around the screen an OD. Find themselves and find themselves tipping as well. Very hard. Side of EG coming as Notel has got the level 6. Universe is playing around with the idea, but Fly's got eyes on him. Universe has to be careful. See a hard kill for OG to get even with an Omni. The Berserker's going to be able to negate a fair bit of the physical. Fly still wants to try and make a go for it by those. He's eyeing it up. Goes for the disruption. No tail coming in. There's no creep, so he's going to get good amount of Omnis off, but he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. Universe is too tanky, too far back. No tail's going to just keep himself cool and play it back. Play away from Universe.
And there's no reason to go for the over play. I mean, the biggest thing for OG is if they can get towers in the early game, like if you use the Juggernaut healing ward and whatnot, you know, no tail gets some levels. Oh, he's looking for the root.
He wants this Omni. He's found crit. Crit's going to go for the full way, but they get the slash off. One on his eye, two onto crit now with the Blade Fury to follow through. At the same time, Samel is trying to bring Jarax down low. No tail. He could be the first to fall. He's incredibly low. Drops the healing ward out, trying to walk it out with the dunk. It's from Universe. They find kill onto no tail. They did lose crit for it. They'll take that trade, especially if they can find more. Zai tethering onto Universe. He's continued to chase, and Universe looking to continue the caliber of gameplay he was able to show us in Game 2. Fly's going to pull Jet. With a big off the side, Sun's from Ash is there. Universe hasn't got the call, but Crit, can he do it? Yes, he can! Dunk from Universe to finish it off, and Universe picks himself up another in that engagement. All things going exactly how the Axe wants to. This kind of action that Axe just kind of thrives on, and Universe is constantly in the right place at the right time to clean up.
Man, that was such a weird engagement. They started to like go rapper on mid. I think No Tail wanted to kill Crit before he was able to roll in, but unfortunately Omni Slash doesn't any stun anymore. So instead of canceling the roll, he gets dragged to this really awkward position where he's standing between Crit and Zai. So Zai, and even Cold constantly going off, they weren't able to kill Crit fast enough, and then because he had already used all the spells, he's a very easy target for EG to just straight up kill. That did not anywhere near as well as OG wanted it to.
Jarax gonna play around with some. They has got Fly coming over. Disruptions are set up. What kind of follow up? They're gonna strike Soul catching a fair bit. Not quite enough. Fly trying to get the poison stacks down. Samel, can he live through this one? Another smoke screen's being chopped. Anna coming across. Hasn't got anything to run down at the moment. And Zai relocating in just in case OG went in deep. Samel is going to be fine. Zai just making sure that OG don't get too over aggressive again. 5-5. 8.5 minutes in. Farm for both of the safe laners is looking good. Arteezy, he's had very, very good stuff. He hasn't been slowed down much at all. On the top of the CS. No tail. Very, very close behind him this game.
I think, in terms of like objective gaming and whatnot, I think OG need to be a little bit more proactive instead of just like doing the AFK farming thing. Like you got double ward spirits, you got level 2 healing ward. You can look to pressure. You don't have to wait for EG to hit their timings and come to you. I think they're just a little bit gun shy after about what happened middle lane. That was pretty much a disaster in regards to what they committed and what they actually got out of the fight.
Midline still Anna and Samel trading the farm. Anna slightly ahead, of course, with that Midas. And S4, how is he doing on the money front? Well, he's hit level 6 and does have about 700, so a third of the way nearly towards Blink Dagger. Of course, one of the things that we're really relying on for the Sav OG to put these team fights at the same time, he's got to deal with the fact that Universe, Vanguard complete. He's ready to just run into the center, into the crux of these fights, hit these massive calls, and get the dunks off to take down the squishier members of OG.
Yeah, we saw a very similar build from Velo MVP earlier, but the difference was they actually had the Ancient stuff to a pretty significant degree. This is just a double instead of like, I think it was like 5 or 6. So his dagger timing after the Vanguard is not going to be quite as quick as we're used to seeing, but it's still, it's a pretty solid choice. Not really anybody else on AG can kill Ancients anyways. I think it's more of like an efficiency thing, where being able to kill the Ancients in general for their team is difficult. So just having that allows you to do it means you're getting more out of the map by having the Vanguard, is one way of thinking of it.
Samel just backing off away from the mid lane, and in fact a smoke for Crit is going to be used to try and kick something up. Maybe actually just to get the ward down over here. He should be fine. I mean, OG very close. In fact, a knife. Talking about ancient stacks. OG certainly have the bigger one going. Crit Is he gonna try something again? Might be spot 5. Just walks up to it and crit. Oh no! He's been caught and instantly the D-Ward happens. He just kind of hangs around a little bit too long there next to the Ancients and finds allowed to a free walk to himself.
Yeah, get a pretty much a bonus Ancient if you want to call that, by having the Air Spirit in the area. Off the back of that, I don't know if they're going to necessarily be able to kill this tower, because Mantle was the first one to get him. He's got great wave players, so yeah, I hope enough to deter G at least for the moment. Or maybe they're just going to kill him.
Demonic Purge and did have an Omni, but yeah, just using it to zone mail back. They aren't really able to follow up, and with a T-through from Crit, push is indeed stopped. On to S4, RTZ's eye. If they're able to do anything, S4's coming pretty far out. He has a skewer and he has a TP. Be careful though, RTZ of course has that adaptive strength. I don't think there's any way he can get out of this one, and he can't. RTZ instead punishing the Magnus for a position that hit the kill, and now Hotel. Eyeing up some map. Does have an Omni, but of course on his own he does not have the damage to bite through this Timber Saw. Samel's pretty much able to do whatever he wants there. 6-6 is a close one. It really is.
I mean, like we talked about during the draft, OG can delay the game just because they have mag and power and they have RP, right? And as soon as the Blink Dagger comes up on S4, that's going to be the tipping point, and when they start feeling very confident in being able to take these fights. Yeah. But until then, it's just more about, you know, EG having their initiation items online a little bit faster as the Universe just picked up his Blink Dagger. Also, their team fight capability just feels a bit stronger until OG had a core right.
Hotel coming around to this half of them. The vision is that they'll be a G move over to them. So feeling relatively safe with coming out this time. Now the group up, and they have got the smoke on Universe, yeah. Try and do something with this Blink Dagger. Let's see if they can. We saw in Game 2 Universe being able to do massive with the Blink reveal. We can see if he's able to do anything similar in Game 3. Eyes onto Anna, it would be a nice pick. He's got a Forge Pierce around him, that will help for the procs. Universe straight in. They've got him. Everyone on the side of BG coming through to finish it off, and they want to look for more. So Mel comes across. They'll take down Fly. So just with the dust in case Jarax was hiding around. Isn't going to be the case, but do pick us for EG. The exact play that they needed to pull off there with Universe's Blink Dagger.
I mean, just so prepared they were for that, right? Like, look at the Warden that they had. They had Vision Tier 1 and by their own Tier 1 in case there was a counter gank. I mean, they're even going to take this double Ancients away from the side of OG. That was very well executed. Oh, no tail?
No tail? Alright, so that's going to be enough to scare them off. Maybe a little bit worried about Magnus coming across with a skewer and RP.
I mean, yeah, but that's actually a kill. I feel like they could turn and kill him. I have back.
He's under attention. Nice smoke screen, a TP, but oh, he jukes it as well. Oh, Jared, you slippery little bugger.
He lives.
The call. Oh no,
oh,
it's not. Oh! Oh, there we go. Did he make the move for it?
Man, that was insane.
Getting space, but he can't create space against an already existing Universe. And, yeah, Universe quit to take him down. And 15 minutes into this game, it really is kicking off. This is the game 3 that we wanted. Easy Morph still in good position. S4, that big time is coming up. Blink Dagger's nearly done on the Magnus.
Once that comes out, I would expect to see them, like, maybe not necessarily go for a straight smoke, but try to make something happen, Beta Hero. If had a Tier 1 or a Tier 2. I think they most likely just this offline tower go, though. This is a very hard to defend if you want to start trying to push it. And just look at Arteezy's eye progression, man. Like, he's got full skins, and he's got the Ghost Scepter, and it's only 15 minutes. Like, he's going to be online very, very soon. That is a scary thing for OG. Because they don't have like anything to defend against each player. You just have to hope that, you know, Fly just, like, instantly drops the target. Otherwise, if they're going to die, it'll be too low to fight.
It's certainly times that both teams have, which is in terms of what they need to get done and what they need to be scared of. We can see Jarax, he's got vision on to crit. Packers coming, crit. in a lot of trouble there. He is in a lot of trouble. But he got this one. OG before beat. So one of the others taking him out. I think he went for a cup. He had some teammates to pick him. Maybe. I spotted S4. Blink. Just in time, but they get the base that they need to take the tier 1. Bloodstone does some bit of a fight coming through. The universe. The relocate though, EG, Samael turning across, look at Jerax, he's got the fix of the trade to duke it out, no tail though. He's trying to man fight against Samael, the drive-by from our sword, taking down Jerax. Looks like the rest of us should be able to get out, only just. Universe nearly had call back off cooldown to cat out lane, S4, tying up Zara. Oh! No TP for you, Sonny Jim. S4 rips Zai to shreds.
How did OG almost won here? That was actually like such a bad occasion from OG. Like the Omni didn't really hit anybody, and then they managed to only lose Jerax. That was super fortunate for them because I feel like they should have at least lost 2 or 3. OG not really going to be able to do anything about social after having seen solo P on top lane, obviously to kill the Isle. They're just going to go ahead and go for the objective. There are heroes in the area, they probably know that it's going on.
Jerax, go for plays.
Oh, it's too late.
No.
Great idea, just too slow. It was actually very nicely called there from OG. This, you know, OG would directly go to the Roche pit. I don't even know. I don't think they saw him pick up the. But obviously, getting that rune is fortuitous in this situation. Realize that OG's biggest team fight utility is down. But this game is,
yeah.
I was gonna say, you know, we talk a lot about Ana in like the first and the second games. This guy has just been quietly farming, man. He's just hitting creeps, and at some point, this whip is gonna come online, and he's gonna need to do a lot of work for his team because he has just been like silently farming away the entire game.
Jerax eyes on to Samael, and they've always these fairly far away from his teammates. And as far know to get here in time though. It's a question. And looks like you don't want to quite do it. Yeah, Universe revealing himself as well. You see with a lot of this ready warnings to the point where it's going to expire those. They'll have to look to reclaim some of the decision over OG's half of the map, OG. And they do want to try and do something. S4 has the AP again. What they can do, eyes onto Samael. You want to blow up P for this?
Oh,
yes,
nice.
he does. Everything being thrown out onto the TP. He can't deny himself. Actually, tries to go for the escape, so they do get the kill. Doesn't end up denying himself, but EG then went back into this one. Smoke. Got by Jerax, making hard for EG to chase. Still looking for Fly. Should put to get the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon for a Timbersaw. Not really the trade that EG need. Evil is for Arteezy, but these fights are going to become even harder. OG are just potentially down more than at the start of the engagement.
Yeah, it's 19 minutes and he like, good lord, that is insanely farmed.
One Universe gets the contest for the E-play. The support for Arteezy is not quite damaged with the damage struggle. Oh, on the burst from Samael it is though. S4 out of the game for 40 seconds. EG. They should be able to find a tier 2 in the mid lane. Sunstrike, not quite. Zai sidesteps it to the left, and they're going to go in for more. Looking for the tier 3s, forcing out fortification. Yeah, without the Magnus in the game, they feel confident to do this. Open up, Jerax. It's a smoke screen. Ana just goes in for the cheeky Midas. That's it. They just don't seem to have enough to hold G back that well. Universe jumps, can't quite get the jump to no tail. Fly turns around for Demonic Purge. Universe forced out. Well, enough of it to push EG away from their high ground. So OG managed to keep the tier 3 intact. S4's back in the game now. And yeah, EG will simply back up the creep wave moving down across the bottom lane. They'll just look to find a tier 2 instead.
They mitigated that pretty well, OG. After having used like what, 2 ultimates, like big ultimates on the Timbersaw, and then only losing a support after the fact that I guess they lost S4 as well. But only losing the 2 heroes, that could have very easily been maxed if they had been a bit careless and lost 1 more hero. So good on them for not getting punished too hard. And that smoke screen is just... It is actually doing more work than I ever would expect. Because when they were going down middle behind the tier 1, or behind the tier 2, the only reason that Spore lived as long as he did, because the Cloud stopped our from pressing a strike right after the blade came out. Because, you know, he went forward to it. And his reaction time was just, like, immediate. Oh my god, he hit the
He's gonna die for it.
Whatever, that's the swag. We take it.
That's a hashtag. Yeah, Jarrett's being the flying bugger that he needs to on the Ricky. It's constantly trying to throw OG off.
We still really just need to see the Invoker do something. Like, when push comes to shove, yeah, you can fall back on your late game with your Juggernaut and your Magnus and just hope that you're gonna get that wombo comp. But I mean, this Invoker is pretty much only used Sunstrike. I think I've seen him cold snap a hero one time the entire game. I suppose it could just be the way that OG want to play it. Doesn't necessarily require him to do a lot, but a lot of Invoker players still try to do stuff, even if their primary job is to farm. So a lot of the time, like late game, Invoker is still considered really, really strong. And maybe that's just all they care about at this point, because they've just conceded that they haven't been winning these. So maybe they just wouldn't have.
Oh, Universe! He's got the claw!
The RP?
S4 with the RP and the Omni to follow through, but the heals is going to keep the EG alive. In fact, they're going to be the ones to look to take the fight. They matched the fight for. It was a pretty RP. Wasn't quite enough to straight up, and then the fight started. And Universe coming in with the call to fly. No kills on as well on the side of it all. 3 kills for EG. He tried his best there with that RP, but the fact that, yeah, Zai had the mech. They had the burst heal to counter an initiation, and the Omnicone was not enough follow-up. And as you said, Anna's down bottom, they need that Invoker in this fight. Maybe with an Invoker, they could have cleaned that up, but it just...
Yeah. A Meteor...
Yeah.
There was some power on No Tail was casting on me, but they could die in the separation. That's the whole point of getting the Mag and the Juggernaut combo. Unfortunately, No Tail really he only has Drums Penta.
Oh, Universe! Yes. He's found another Universe axe, making an absolute impact series. Game 2 and now in Game 3, and arguably this one even more impressive. He's 5-0-7.
Oh,
and okay. Oh.
It's looking amazing for OG right now. I really think that if No Tail had maybe spent gold on another item, I don't know honestly what he's gonna buy at this stage. Like usually Scotty is the choice. You really want to abuse the power as much as you can. But he's gonna go for the.
Okay.
I think if he has had the defusal during the fight, maybe he would have done a little bit more damage and been able to get a kill. I'm not sure. But he's going all in here. There's enough to buy that. I don't know if EG are gonna pressure though.
And this is it, because I mean, at this stage, you know, EG, they have the edge, they do have the lead, but breaking high ground against S4 Magnus is going to be hard.
Especially when all your forwards are pretty close range. 2 of them are melee.
Yeah.
And then you have a Morph who isn't really known for having the greatest of range. It's only 350. I mean, I've been in Ursa longer than 350 range, so I'm pretty sure that ain't much.
And they've got to be careful about how they go about doing this. Anna's got the Aghanims, so they really do have the follow-up. They just need Anna to be involved in these fights. They really, really do. I mean, especially as you said with the build that, the progression that Mattel's got, he hasn't quite got enough damage on his own really to just do 1 RP, 1 Omni. That's not necessarily going to cut it against GG's lineup, especially if Zai's able to get a heal off the mech. I'm talking about Zai. Eyes onto him from Jax. Coming around here. Just forward with the RP ready. EG just avoiding it, keeping themselves over half of the mid lane. So OG can't quite find a jump in, and the smoke will allow S4 to get in this position. Maybe he can look for a counter if EG come across, look to fight this. He's going to stay here at the moment. He's still hitting under the cover. This is a male. It's all about S4's play. He may go for this, but of course it's an Axe illusion. He's keeping it cool. Keeping it cool. EG. And they're keeping themselves away. I think EG realise what's going on. They're just split up across the map. Of course, whilst this is happening, they're managing to get so much more done and keeping themselves on top. And Universe, he's caught out Anna. guy brings in RTZ. RTZ's design weren't even needed. Universe solo killing the Invoker. Bottom racks are now on the potential of being exposed, and it does have a buyback. He may need to use it. Actually, well, Universe has been left on his own, so opting to re-relocate RTZ out of the bottom lane. But they can't allow Invoker to just be picked off like that. And as you said, you know, Anna, for being the star player, we've seen him in the other games. This game on his Invoker, the impact is just not felt at all.
Yeah, and the administration to it is why I was kind of confused. Normally, when you buy Yules, you want to fight because you use the Yules combo to get quick. You know, it's really good for killing towers and axes and stuff like that. Obviously, for the play bell coming out on Universe, but he buys those items and doesn't fight. I'm kind of wondering, like, obviously, I don't know how often he's played poker with the team, what his job is supposed to be in the game from a communication standpoint, but he was just there for, like, any engagement. I feel like it could have been turned.
Oh, he's smoking up. If he gets this row, it's going to be a bit of time for you to do. Opening watch S4, watch S4, there's 2 instances, there's the good night. Down. He's gonna live the awning coming through. It's actually just bouncing a Rubishan. Then there's 4. They're gonna bring the kill. Just people didn't know. He actually denied it. He did have slot for it, but G now lost 1. Are they gonna lose anything else? Universe trying to check, gets himself more stickle. Onto no tails down as well. They've found 3. Looking for more as well. Anna caught out, bursted down by RTZ. It's getting on OG. The last fucking Jack. But himself, can he get out? He goes for TP. They will manage to escape. But OG, as we saw just then, they just couldn't do it. The RP looked good, but I believe it was Universe or Stamel out of the data. All the Omni bounces were on Roche itself. No-Tail did have a slot picked up. They just had to deny it. It just fell apart.
Yeah, I just don't feel he doesn't have damage yet. And again, it's another case of Invoker not being, you know, in the right spot at the right time. I feel like he just didn't have blink at this point.
Right, yeah, S4. Remember the skewer. Trying to play. Or he keeps the tap.
Okay.
E-Blade, boys. EG. They can take the set of ranks on the bottom lane. They do anything about it. S4 20 seconds until the RP. Samel is going to start trying to play with S4 now. S4 with the kill, but S4! He's going to go down! He's out! And now the core of No-Tail. There's your buyback from S4. Tricks trade from Jack. He's going to push them back, and in fact, unable at the moment. Finish off the racks. OG are holding. Magnetize is going to be an in for S4. He wants to try for the binking. Maybe this is it though. But no.
No, 5.
Anna is out for the count. They're smoking up. They've got an Omni. They've got an RP. S4 needs something juicy. He goes in, but it only catches on. It's not the RP to the needed. Buyback, but S4's down and out. They've lost Jerax. They're potentially going to lose No-Tail. He cuts out with the Omni Slash. He will kill Zai. He's right, bringing these guys up as well. He tries to go for mute, but No-Tail in time with the Blade Fury backs off. They're facing them down some mail. Looking at No-Tail. Anna playing around with him. Now managing to get off these racks, but it's incredibly cost. Finally, the range rack go down. Universe, because they're on to fly. Have to strip RTZ. Brings him down once more. And the racks will fall. Anna looking at the mail. No-Tail's there at well. Cole's down. Pulling the timber. So mail's down. He's actually going to suicide here. Racks chasing for a lot of racks, but OG desperate to try and make E pay for the one. Was see Garrix has the defusal, smoke screen as well. No-Tail Mandarin defusal. I can get a jump on him with the silence. They could get him. RTZ maybe a little greedy, and they have it. The greed could cost his life, and in fact it will. RTZ's greed getting punished heavily there. He's down for 75. OG can end. Does anything more? Maybe looking over towards some spotted him out with this ward. The Mal, he's already done retreat. The pink's coming out. The wraparound's got an Isrin as well, but the timber chain for Samel is good. Gets himself up to the high ground. We're going to look to try and lead in and chase this one down, but Samel, blink with image, he's incredibly elusive. He's going to hang around for this camp. Maybe this is enough. They need Jerax to get that supposed to. Oh! Drop back in for the healing creep. That could cost his life. Jerax didn't actually pop the Knows that there's yours. It's a hot. Now he'll put the smoke. They jump in. The Sunstrike there is, but Zai's there with a backup. The mini relocate to the side, keeping some air alive. Another turnaround universe. Trying to jump in with the initiation. To call off Hotel. S4 himself back happy, but the hunger is going to get very hard for him to re-initiate. Notel caught out. Don't there. Universe got like take him down. Notel has no buyback. S4. He needs a miraculous RP, but he just can't find the opening for it. Maybe now, but everyone's dead. Everyone's dead, and S4, he has to get himself out. That itself might be possible. Skewer, Blink still on call. They caught out the Magnus. EG, they'll find themselves the team wipe. Rex has a buyback available, but everyone does not have that much to fall back on. And EG just done it there with that fight. Sealed the deal, and should be able to close out 6 against OG.
That was... I mean, as much as talked about how, you know, those acts like carried MVP in the game earlier, I want to say the Universe's acts has pretty much been the same, and yeah, they're going to tap out. It makes sense. I mean, they are ridiculously far behind at this point. I think maybe Anna was relying too much on him being able to... Oh yeah, right. I thought something happened that is missed, but I